Okay, I'm going to show you how to make these yummy cookies. They're totally healthy. They're out of the dehydrator. They're raw, and they have 5 ingredients. It's so easy to make, and they're so moist. Let's get started, and I'll show you how to make these. The first thing we're going to do with these cookies are going to process 3 apples. You can leave the skin on and just put them in your food processor.
Jay's making
I opened these apples, the food processor, several times to work with it so that I can get this to puree. Looks like this. Just try to work with it as best as you can to not have big chunks in it. This recipe calls for oat flour and oat flakes, and what I'm going to do for the oat flakes is I put in whole oats into the blender, and I'm just going to turn it on low and just kind of lightly process it. I don't want it to be a flour, so that's all I'm going to give it. That's 2 cups. Okay, this is oat flour, and I'm going to put in a cup of this to the 2 cups of oat flakes I just made. And mix that up, and then put the next ingredients in. Cinnamon. Stir in your cinnamon. You put all your dry ingredients together first. Okay, now I have the softened coconut oil and agave nectar in here, and I'm going to go ahead and add the apples also at the same time. Okay, I have that all mixed together. The apple is in there. Now I'm going to throw in the raisins. That's optional. You don't have to put them in, but I like raisins. So just put in as much as you want. It calls for a cup. Then we're going to drop this by the spoonful on the dehydrator sheet. Okay, I'm just dropping these on the sheet. They don't spread, so you can put them close together. Shape them if you want to. Okay, these will go in to the dehydrator for an hour at 116 first, and then we'll turn it down to 105 for 6 to 8 hours. Okay, after the first hour, go ahead and take these cookies off of your sheet and put it on the screen so that they can dry on both sides. Now make sure you turn it back down to 105, and you'll keep them in for now 6 to 8 hours or whenever you feel like they're ready. Okay, these cookies stayed in the dehydrator at 105 overnight, so I did it for 10 hours, and oh my goodness, these are going to be a regular in my kitchen because they turned out so moist and just the right amount of sweetness. The texture is perfect, and I'm putting them I'm going to store them in an airtight container here so that they'll keep a long time. I'll probably throw them in the refrigerator too, or the freezer. But even the kids love these. And anyway, it's worth the effort. And there's only 5 ingredients, so you can play with the ingredients. For the sweetener, I had used agave, but I'm sure you can use honey instead if you have honey. And just stay away from the white sugar. Okay, here they are, all ready to be sealed. Well, we already ate half of them. I'm going to put them away for another time. So, I highly recommend trying these cookies. They're so yummy.